What's going on, YouTube? This is Dre Knows back at it again, bringing you another episode in the NCAA 14 Dre Knows Legacy series. Oh my god, that's such a long name here on NCAA 14. Appreciate you guys rocking with me as always. So, as you guys can see, for those who have been keeping up, we have been making our mark here at Washington State for our freshman year. I'm not going to show, if we ever have any games against like the FCS schools, I'm not going to show those games because most of the time those games end up being blowouts here. But as you guys can see, after our last game at USC, like I mentioned before, you get to the point when you're playing in this mode, and if you get like negative coaches trust, you actually lose your spot in the depth chart, which is kind of crazy. Even though considering that I won that game against USC in that case, but nonetheless, if we had to pick a time to really have to go through all this again, it'd probably be now. I actually did end up missing the FCS game. Unfortunately, we lost the job at that point, but I wasn't really sweating it really. I didn't, because I knew going in I wasn't going to play it anyways, so I wasn't too worried about it. But as you guys can see here, we do take care of business, and we do go ahead and get our starting job back. So first things first, we're actually taking on the Idaho Vandals, which I had no idea that Idaho was rivals with Washington State, but I guess it kind of makes sense because they're kind of in the same area. But I mean, if you guys have a little bit more insight, that'd be greatly appreciated. But as you guys can see, we are actually at home. This is actually it's our second home game because I want to say the FCS game was also at home in this case, but this is our first home start really against Idaho, and as you guys can see, we're just dotting our way down the field really at this point. So really just hope, just want to overall just clean game just going in here as we go ahead and just hit the little I want to say it's like an out route or something like that on third down, and then from there we just hit a nice little curl to Calvin for a touchdown. So already off to a good start. 5 of 6, 75 yards throwing the ball, just dipping and dotting our way down the field really at this point. So not really too worried about this game, to be honest with you. I just want to really just kind of take this game to really just really build up the coach's trust, because to be honest, it does get kind of frustrating really. Only getting one play call and you have to go for it. You can't audible, or you can't change out of it, unfortunately, at least not yet. I think once you get all the way to the very highest trust or whatever, then you'll be able to do that. But until then, we're just kind of stuck with what we got. But we'll just work with what we have at this point. But as you guys can see, later on in the game, Idaho does tie the game, but we take off scrambling, almost get in. I thought we could have just lowered our shoulder there and gotten in, but not a problem. We go ahead and hand it off to our running back, and he punches it in for a touchdown. 14-7 Washington State at this point. So later on in the second quarter, we're actually getting a little sticky there with the little run there, almost 30-yard gain on the ground there. We do have a little bit of mobility there, so nice little play there. And then as you guys can see here, I'm not going to lie, whenever I saw that DB there, I was like, oh my god, he's going to jump it. But I able to go ahead and sneak it past him at that point, so no problem there. And then again, I guess, I don't know what it is about our offensive coordinator. His favorite play call is stick. I have no idea why. I mean, it's got a couple nice little routes. I mean, it's got the streak, the little baby curl, and then the little crosser, but man, it felt like I was just calling stick it feels like he was just calling stick every play call really at this point. So closing in on the second quarter here, nothing doing there. So I mean, at the very least, if we're able to get a field goal, we're in business. Make it a full 2-possession game, even though we're up by 11, and we just use our mobility to go ahead and get into the Idaho red zone. 20 seconds left, just trying to see if we can make something happen here. We do scramble, and we're able to go ahead and get an 8-yard rushing touchdown. So really at this point, I think this is kind of where the route is on, really. And we actually do get the ball to start off at half. So like I said, I mean, we were heavily favored in this game, and with good reason. I mean, our offense played really, really well leading up to this point. And again, like I said, stick right there, or something. I don't know if it was stick. It was very similar, but anyways, while this game's going on, just to kind of take a moment just to kind of do some announcements here real quick. So I am getting a new setup here fairly soon. Getting a new PC for streaming on Twitch. That way, you know, I have better quality streams. And for those who don't follow me on Twitch, I do Twitch at least once or twice a week. I'm trying to get more on a dead set schedule that falls aligned with everything else that I do with like work and whatnot. But I do stream probably, like I said, like once or twice a week, mainly on the weekends though, because that's like when I have the most free time. But once I get my setup already ready to go, and you know we're looking crispy, definitely am planning on setting stream schedules for you guys consistently. That way you guys will, you know, be in the know in terms of when I'll be streaming. But like I said, for those who don't follow me on Twitch, I'd appreciate you guys joining, hopping on the bandwagon, because I feel like there's going to be a lot of big things happening soon. The link will be down below, and it's just twitch.tv/DreKnows. I'll just put it on the screen as well for you guys. Appreciate all the support from you guys. Definitely have been seeing some growth here recently. It's slow, but I mean, obviously, you know, when it comes with YouTube, it is something that, you know, it doesn't happen overnight, and I'm, you know, willing to make things happen in this case. So we've got a lot of good ideas planned, especially with the new setup, with the new mic. I'm planning on using the overlay with the webcam as well. It's just I have an older MacBook, so for whatever reason, when I try to use the webcam in 1080p, it, for whatever reason, has a really bad delay in the audio. So like I'll be talking and then it won't say anything. So once I get set up with a little bit newer setup, then I think we'll be good to go at that point. So I am excited to bring you guys that. But as you guys can see, we do take care of business against Idaho up, and we walk away with the W there. So going into the next week here, as you guys can see, we are looking to make some upgrades here at this point. I didn't realize that we had these like 1-game boosts, but I figured why not, especially going into a big game here. For those who didn't notice, we actually are taking on a top 10 team in the country in Stanford. So gonna be a tough game, because I know Stanford, they're usually, when it comes to Pac-12 teams, like they're usually they're kind of one of those teams that are just very gritty. They play really good defense, and then they just play very physical. So intrigued to see how we handle this game. But the advantage here is that we are at home, in the confines of. Is it sad that I still don't know what the stadium name is? I have to look into that. I promise I'll have it down by the next episode. But we are at home, and as you guys can see, off to a good start, hitting the little out route there. And just kind of want to hear your feedback, kind of your thoughts as far as like what you guys would like to see. I'm thinking probably a good amount per episode in terms of games is around 2 to 3, depending if maybe one of the games is a blowout, then I could add an additional game there. Let me know what you guys think, because I want these episodes to be nice and high quality, but at the same time I don't want them to be like a mini movie at that point either, in this case. So thinking probably about 2 to 3 games per episode. That way we can kind of progress our way through the series fairly quickly, and really just to keep you guys engaged. Really, I'm planning on making this more of a priority, before really jumping back into Madden. For those who didn't watch my last video, they did announce Madden 21 with the trailer there. Go ahead and check that video out if you guys haven't seen it already. But at least for now, while we're still kind of in that downtime, I definitely want to diversify the content on here and still play NCAA, because I really, I genuinely do enjoy the game. But as you guys can see, just jumping back into the gameplay, we're tied right now. Like I said, I was, coming into this game, I was expecting it to be a barn burner, expecting it to be really, really close at this point. And as you guys can see, we actually take off, and we actually get in the Stanford red zone, able to go ahead and make some plays happen on the scramble, hit the little slant route over the middle. I thought Harris was going to be able to punch it in. But we actually go back to him in the end zone, and we actually hit him for a touchdown on the little option route. I think that's what that is. So I've noticed over the past couple games, and I've already kind of played ahead already, but I'm not going to spoil it for you guys. I've noticed Harris has been kind of my go-to receiver early on in this series, so it's just kind of interesting to see that. Just some trends that I've been noticing. Again, like I said, using our mobility there. We're in a good position. We're in a position to where we can make it a 2-possession game if we're able to get a touchdown. Able to go ahead and we're almost able to get in, but we do pick up a fresh set of downs. And this is right here. This is kind of where the play calling kind of aggravates me. We call the option, okay, we get blown up, and then for whatever reason we call these little slants or whatever, which in hindsight it should have worked there, but unfortunately we did overthrow the ball there. So forced to take our 3, and then Stanford. On the next possession that we get, we fumble, and then in like 2 seconds they score a touchdown. So that's kind of crazy how that happens. So now coming into the second half, we actually are down by 4. So definitely got to make something happen here. Got to play with a little bit of sense of urgency at this point, because this game could slip away from us fairly quick. I did notice though that our Potter, our running back, he played a little bit better into the next half after that fumble, that devastating fumble. But like I said, really right there, the Stanford defense really just flexing their muscles at that point with back-to-back sacks, and they actually get a strip sack right there. But fortunately, we are able to pick up the fumble. And again, like 3rd and 22, and you're really going to call a screen there. Luckily, I was able to hit one of the other routes that were on the pass. I was just kind of worried when I threw that. But we're able to get, at least 3 points off of that. I was kind of worried. I wasn't sure if we were going to get any really at that point. So 21-20, it's a very, very doable deficit to come back from. And now we're actually going into the 4th quarter. And again, like, just some of these play calls I don't agree with. And as we just zip it over there to Patrick Uchinski. Hopefully that's the right way to pronounce that. But yeah, just some of the play calls have just been kind of cringe. To be honest, I just don't agree with them. But that's just kind of where we have to kind of build that trust. And again, I thought we might have had a chance to maybe throw it, and if we did a touch pass to our running back. But I was kind of scared that that defender might have jumped it. 4th and goal, we go for it, and again, like I said, Harris, we're able to go ahead and hit him in the end zone for a touchdown. For the most part, a pretty efficient game. 19 of 26 for almost 200 yards and 2 touchdowns. Kind of conservative play calling, to be honest. But if we get out of here with the dub, then we'll take it. So as you guys can see here, we actually get the ball back, still with the lead intact at this point. So got to give credit to our defense really at this point. So we do actually force Stanford to use their last timeout. So all we got to do is get one more first down, and it's going to be GG's in the chat at that point. So 3rd and 9. I'm not putting this ball in the air. I'm not trying to stop the clock. I decided to go ahead and run for it. We fumbled, but able to go ahead and pick it up. So we got really lucky there, fellas. So Washington State comes away with another dub. I think at this point we're now 3-1, so feeling pretty good as far as how we're playing. We just got to get that trust meter up so we can have some more range, some more freedom in terms of play calling. But that's actually going to do it for this video, guys. If you guys did enjoy the video, I'd appreciate you guys hitting that like button. I'm enjoying this new series up to this point. Really enjoy with where it's heading. And if you guys are looking forward to more videos in the Drano's Legacy series, consider subscribing to the channel, as we have this series as well as a lot of more exciting content coming up fairly soon. And until the next one, guys, this is Drano's, and I'm signing out. Peace.